So just like stock footage, there are lots of places to get music, and just like stock footage, you need to be aware of copyright. I won't dig into that again. We did in those stock footage lessons, but other than to say that everything we said about stock footage there, it applies here too. Just because you own a Beatles CD doesn't mean that you have the right to use that music in your video work. You have to get the permission of the artist. A quick side note on that, you might ask, why can I occasionally use some clips and music in these videos even though I don't own the rights to Jaws, for instance? Well, there are fair use exceptions for education. Now that doesn't mean that since this is an educational lesson that I can put a Beatles song in it, but if I were teaching how to use harmony in pop music, well then using a few short clips of the Beatles would probably be fine because those are obvious, direct examples of what I'm teaching. Now, if you have any questions, you should talk to not just a lawyer, but a copyright lawyer. So, where do you get music that you can get the rights to? Again, just like with stock footage, there are places to get free music that you can use, and some creators they'll just let you use it. But many, they're going to ask that you credit the artist somewhere in your piece. I've got a list of some below in the description for this video, but a couple of good places to look are bensound.com, mobygratis.com, and YouTube actually has a really large library. And once you've created an account, you can find it in the YouTube Studio under Audio Library. There's actually some pretty good stuff there. Paid options, well, those are all over the place. Like I said previously, I use an all-in-one subscription service for music and for visuals at storyblocks.com, but for music, there are a couple of great subscription services. Two that I've used previously are artlist.io, which is great music for accompanying interviews, and soundstripe.com, which has better sounding music, but it's not quite as good when used for scoring an interview. And you can purchase single songs from a number of sources as well. Two really popular ones are premiumbeat.com and pond5.com. And Pond5, it has other things beside music, but their music selection, it's pretty good. And there are many, many, many more options out there. Do a Google search for royalty-free music and you'll find an overwhelming list of suppliers. Once you're looking for music, then you'll want to try that music in your piece, right? Hopefully before you buy. Most of the sites, they'll let you download a watermarked version of the song so that you can try it out. Watermarks for music, it usually means that every 10 seconds or so, the music, it'll get interrupted with the name of the company. But it'll work well enough that you can see if it fits your piece before you buy it. And how do you find that right music? Well, each of the services is a little different, but they almost all have a search tool that lets you look for the right music. And most of them, they let you do a search for a type of music. So I usually start with a search on emotions. So if I'm looking for sad music, I'll do a search for sad, quiet, to find sad music that also it stays quiet. Or maybe sad building for sad music that gets increasingly louder and more powerful as the song continues, that it builds. Or maybe triumphant hopeful for the music for the end. Searching for the emotion I want makes the job of finding the right music a lot easier. I also sometimes look for keywords from the video itself. A recent piece that I worked on, it had a section that I had labeled healing. And when it came time to find music for it, then I did a search for healing, and I found some really nice pieces that I had never heard before because I'd never used that word in a search before. It can be a great way to find new music that will likely work with your material. But however you find the music, the next lesson is going to be about then laying that music down on the timeline in your video.